Hello, everyone. It's Pat, um, and welcome to our Circle of Angels live event tonight. Um, Tonight, I felt guided to talk about the Archangel Raguel as well as Raphael. I've been working with both of them again lately. Um, and of course, there's always Archangel Michael. And we'll call him in here, um, right at the beginning. So um, let's get into a place where we're all really comfortable. Circle of Angels is meant to be a time where we can just kind of relax, connect, and um, I take you through a process that I used to use when I was doing a regular in person Circle of Angels group. And the beginning of that was always starting out with a connection to Archangel Michael and asking him to clear out our energies from the week. It's Sunday, and I hope you've all had a nice weekend. um, but, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and a lot of crazy stuff. And I had noticed I was shuffling cards this morning, and Archangel Raguel had popped out for again today. And he had, when I say again, last week I had done a reading on the month of August, and this card had popped out. So I said, second time it's come out. So I thought maybe it's time to do a circle on him. But for right now, let's just get us started and get into a nice, comfortable position, and maybe close your eyes and block out some distractions that might be around you. And just bring your attention to your breath. And right here and right now, we'll call upon Archangel Michael to be here and present with all of us who are watching. And as we breathe, we'll ask Archangel Michael, please clear away, cut any cords of fear that may be attached to us, that may be draining our energies in any way. Take a nice deep breath. And then Archangel Michael, please clear away any negative psychic debris. Escort away any negative or lower energies or entities from anywhere around us. Please clear out the rooms that we're in of the residual energy from other people, places, and situations. Vacuum away any negative psychic debris that may be in and around our energy field. And right now, Archangel Michael is going to vacuum around your head, neck, shoulders, around your heart, down into your abdominal area. And he just vacuums out, pulls out, and removes psychic debris, things that we may have picked up from other places. And oftentimes after doing a clearing like that, we feel a little bit more relaxed and grounded, a little more heart-centered. Just sit in that energy for a moment. The beauty of meditation and doing something like this is that it helps you to be more in your heart space. Meditation is a process of calming your nervous system. And by closing your eyes and blocking out distractions and focusing just on your breath, it really helps you to calm and come back into your heart. Now it's I was talking about Archangel Raguel earlier, who's going to be our featured archangel for tonight. Um, this is a card that's come up a couple times, as I mentioned before. But I think a lot of it is, and I was calling upon Archangel Raguel earlier and asking him if there was any more specific messages. But one of the awarenesses that came to me, which often happens when you call on your angels, they bring awarenesses to you, or they might bring you some thoughts and ideas. Was because the card is about relationship harmony. And I had noticed as I've been connecting with my friends that I have had a lot more social interaction, connection. I've had friends who are doing things. They've gone on vacation with their family, and where they've experienced, really a good time. I mean, August is when we're all on vacation, or maybe we're doing things with our family, or there's that harmony that's going on, where we're enjoying that camaraderie with people, or, that increased social connection and being out having fun, enjoying a good time when it's that time of year when we do that. So that's what a lot of his message has to do with. Archangel Raguel, I wanted to do a little bit of teaching about him today. His name means friend of God. And because archangels always have a name that means something of God. And he's considered to be an archangel of justice and fairness. He's an archangel that can be called upon when we want to resolve arguments, conflicts, or to mediate disputes. If there's legal matters that you have going on that you need assistance with, he's an archangel that you can call upon for that. He's also an archangel who's known as an overseer. As the understanding I came to about Raguel was through the teachers that I've worked with, is that he oversees the other angels and archangels, ensuring that everything works together in an orderly and harmonious way. So he brings order and harmony to things. So if you have situations, maybe it's work situation or an event you're putting together, where there's a lot of pieces that have to come into play or have to fall into place, he is a great archangel to call upon for that, because he helps. That's what he does. He helps things, fall into place in a harmonious way. Everything works in the orderly way that it needs to, which is a really, if you're planning an event, that can be a really helpful thing to have. Now, Raguel is also an angel who's known to be the champion of underdogs. So he is someone who can help to empower and defend the unfairly treated. And let's face it, there's often a lot of that's going on in the world. Different ethnic groups often feel unfairly treated. That's been highlighted very much in the news and in the media. And sometimes when people are going up against the big guns or the big corporations, and you feel like just this little person going up against the big people, that's where Raguel is a great angel to call upon to swoop in and help you when the champion of the underdog, when you're going into something where you feel like the underdog. Okay. He's an angel who can give you a great boost of energy when you need it too. Okay. He helps us because he works with something that we think of as divine order or divine timing, in the way he works with the angels and the angels who help us. He can help give us an understanding of what divine order is, or help with the divine timing. And what I mean by that, I guess, is, sometimes there are some situations and experiences that we have that may be, it might be a result of our own limited thinking or our own negative thinking. Okay. But there are sometimes some things that experiences that we come across that are part of the divine order, or where certain pieces are coming together at certain times. I know one of the messages that I got recently, was kind of a message of divine timing and order, because I was wanting to make a change and move forward with something. And I got a clear message from the cards and stuff that no, you might be better off waiting to see how things play out. Which I was honestly a little bit disappointed by at the time. But as Raguel's cards have popped up, I'm kind of reminded, especially because I also got this one recently too, divine timing, that sometimes it's really about divine order, when things happen the way they do. And angels are often always working on our behalf and what's in our best and highest good. So it can be a little discouraging when there seems to be a delay in something that we want to move forward. But oftentimes maybe that delay serves a purpose, because one of the things I found is timing with the realm of spirit. I mean, there is no time in reality, okay, in their reality. We in our human reality experience time as linear, past, present, future. But in their reality, there isn't that. So things can happen instantaneously, at certain times, almost miraculously. But sometimes when things seem to be delayed, that we perceive it as being delayed, it can often be due to, like, well, no, let's wait till you'd be better off waiting till something better, or there's something better waiting for you that's coming along. So don't jump on this too soon. And calling on Raphael can help you in those times when you're trying to determine, okay, is this just a result of my limited thinking? Did I subconsciously draw something to myself that kept me from moving forward? Or is it really a case of divine timing and divine order? Okay. So, sometimes for a while with the angels, when I was giving classes on them, I would try and tune into them, meditate and tune into them to get a message, to see if they would give me a direct message that I could write down. And one of the ones that Raguel gave to me when I was doing this was, he says, pave the way to your freedom. Harshness need not be tolerated. Orchestration is the harmony of many instruments at once. And he reminds us that you are the instruments of the divine. My work is simply to keep you tuned and working with the flow. And I thought that was a really, really incredible message, especially where he says harshness need not be tolerated. And his message of pave the way to your freedom. So I guess if there are some of you are in situations where you are, feeling harshly treated, and you're looking to rise above that, because there's something better that's meant for you. Raguel would be a great angel to call upon. And when I talk about calling on, angels, one of the ways that I do that is to sit in meditation, to sit quietly in meditation, because as I explained earlier, when you use meditation to quiet your mind, you close your eyes, you remove the distractions, you bring your attention and focus inward, especially, in your heart, and it quiets that paying attention to your breath, quiets and calms the nervous system, and it allows you to hear and feel better. Okay. And when you get into a quieter space after a few minutes, you bring your attention to this area here, the point between the eyebrows. And behind closed eyes, you can just sort of gently look up there. You don't want to strain, but just gently bring your attention to that point and focus there, and repeat the name of the archangel that you're looking to call upon for assistance, whether it's Raguel or Michael or what have you. But you can repeat the name through your spiritual eye. This is your spiritual eye. That's what it's called. Oh, thank you, Anja. I just saw that you popped up in the chat. You're welcome. Um, but anyway, so this area between your eyebrows is known as the spiritual eye. It's a chakra energy center, but it's a very powerful area, and a lot of people who really are practiced meditators for spiritual path, they meditate and they do their affirmations and chants through that center, and it's very powerful. But when you repeat the name, and it doesn't matter whether it's an archangel or a divinity, if you are very connected to Jesus and you focus on Jesus's name through there, repeating it and repeating it. I also follow the masters, the masters of India, Yogananda and Babaji and Lahiri Mahasaya and Sri Yukteswar and Jesus is part of that group too. But when you focus your energies and connect, and you can ask them for a message, ask them for help with a particular situation, but it's very strong when you meditate and connect through there. And that's how I would get a message like that from Raguel. I would meditate, focus on that area, and keep doing it. Now, sometimes I'll be honest, I didn't get something like that right away. There have been times when I sat and meditated and called on an archangel for something specific, meditating the way I just spoke to you about. And it didn't happen right away. I was pouring a lot of energy into it. But once I, kind of surrendered it and maybe got up and walked away and went off to do something else and let go of it, then I heard it. And it's really kind of funny the way that happens sometimes. When you put an intention or a request very intensely out to the angels or what have you, sometimes it's when you release it and you walk away to do something else, maybe something mindless, maybe you go take a walk, that all of a sudden you hear their answer. Okay. And that's how it happens for me sometimes. And I think it's because in that moment of intense, calling upon them, we might not be giving ourselves that opportunity to relax and hear it. Okay. But other times, it works perfectly well. You can be vocalizing their name intensely, Raguel, 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 Raguel through that spot and feel a response. A couple times when I was doing this, as I prepared for this evening's, I started to do that. And what happened was actually all of a sudden a smile would come over my face and I felt my energy change. But right before I came on tonight, they reassured me that, don't worry, we will be with you. So I place my trust in that. So the other angel I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight was Raphael, because he's a healing angel for both like physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. Raphael, I called upon him recently because I wanted to go back to doing healing work. I'm a Reiki master and I've kind of gotten out of that, away from doing it with people and myself. And I miss working in a healing profession. And anyways, I was calling, but I've also had some of my own issues that I'm asking for healing with. His cough being one of them. But anyways, Raphael, he has a beautiful emerald green healing energy. And what I often find with him is that when I call upon him and ask him for help, I'll get ideas. And that's not out of the ordinary when you call on angels. A lot of times spirit will work by just sending you what I would call a thought form. They plant an idea in your head. And with Raphael, I find sometimes he leads me back to natural remedies that I may have used before even, but maybe just forgot about. Clip on Reed, I think, calls it spiritual narcolepsy, where you've kind of fallen asleep at the wheel. You've forgotten some of your spiritual practices or things you used to do before. And so I found that today. Raphael was guiding me back to some natural remedies that I used to work with quite a bit. And he was also reminding me about how sensitive I am to certain chemicals or certain foods and the ingredients in them. And I got a message of caffeine free, and the other night when I brought with me today the Archangel Raphael deck, which is this beautiful emerald green. One of the first cards that had popped out at me was caffeine free. He's like, caffeine's affecting, whatever situation you're asking about. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have had some trouble sleeping. And oh yeah, my muscles have been tight. I've probably been drinking too much caffeine and not enough water. So I thanked him for reminding me of that. And because he's a war angel who works with our health. Okay. He can, when we call upon him, we can ask him for help with release of addictions. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of us out there who are kind of addicted to coffee. We feel like we need it to wake up in the morning. I know I do that. I feel like I needed to wake up my brain in the morning. Or sugar. That's another one for a lot of us. But maybe that's not your thing, but he can help us to free ourselves from that. And if you ask him as you're going about your day, Raphael's kind of fun to work with. I usually call on him and picture that emerald green healing energy around me. But, for any medical issue that you're dealing with or health issue, one of the things I found with working with Archangel Raphael too, is that he kind of speeds up the process if you need to get in to see a medical professional. I've had that happen on a few occasions where I asked for his help and I was able to get in right away for things that I needed. And I was really surprised by it. I'm like, oh, wow, I got an appointment this fast. But he kind of speeds up the process. Now, there are times I know I've read stories of where people have received instantaneous healings from Raphael. But other times, he does help you to lead you to the right professional who might be the right person that you need for whatever your issue is. Okay. And they still work through people. I mean, a lot of people are called to healing professions. And I remember one time I was having a problem with my back and I was in a lot of pain. It was my own fault. I did a little bit too much moving of furniture, what have you, but I was in a lot of pain. And I got in right away to see a chiropractor that I was connected with. They were able to see me first thing in the morning. So I was grateful for that. Like I said, he's really speedy about helping you to get in. But as I was going there, I was a little frustrated because I had read these stories about his instantaneous healing. And I was kind of having a little like, why can't I have one of those? I was having a spoiled moment, But Raphael just kind of piped in and he said, because it prospers other people and it validates their reason for being in the business that they're in, And I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, so many people are called to the healing professions and they're really good at what they do. And so it brings blessings to everybody. It prospers them. They get enjoyment out of having been of service and helping somebody, and you get the relief that you're looking for. And maybe you've made a nice new connection to that person. So that's one of the beautiful things about working with Raphael. But he's also, I find, very lighthearted and sometimes humorous. I mean, let's face it, laughter is the best medicine. And sometimes the way he helps, or the way the angels help sometimes, is they'll show you something funny. So he can help you if you're looking to get into a healing profession or career. And he's also actually one of those angels, I think because of the way he was, stories depict about him in certain books of the Bible, um, he's considered to be an archangel that oversees travel. And, given that this is a month of the year, I mean, people are always traveling everywhere. I think of this as the time of the year because I'm in New England and it's our summertime. And this is the time when everybody's vacationing. They're engaging their travel plans. So you can ask him to help oversee you when you're on the road, or however you're traveling to your destination. Okay. I got a kitty coming in. Raphael also helps with working with healing animals also. So if you have a pet, a beloved pet that's very sick, you could ask for his help in healing. My kitty's meowing at me because I think she wants to go out right now. Hi. So while we're all here, and I mentioned Raphael has an emerald green color, and Raguel actually has like a pale blue color, kind of like the blue of the sky on a beautifully clear day. So when you call on angels, it can be helpful to picture that color of energy around you. All right. And there are certain crystals that are connected with certain angels. With Raphael, it's something like a malachite that has that emerald green color running through it. With Raguel, it's an aquamarine. You don't have to have these, but sometimes it can strengthen a connection to them because crystals help to raise certain energies and vibrations. I love going into crystal shops. Especially ones that have like rose quartz and clear quartz, because in fact, if there's been some days when I've been having don't feel so good about work or what have you, you're having a cranky day. And I'm like, I should just walk into the crystal shop because the crystal's energy in it just is so uplifting. It really raises your energy and helps to dissipate some of the, I don't know, whatever's making you cranky. You can also call on Michael, but crystal shops are wonderful for that. But anyways, so these are our two archangels, and they work, you can work together with them. I mean, Raguel is really about, if you're looking to create harmonious relationships or bring harmony into a relationship, or, resolve something, he brings in that element of harmony. Okay. And when you're hanging out with friends and enjoying a really good time, that's that element of harmony amongst people. And I have to say, I know here in the United States, there's obviously a lot going on with in the way of justice. Okay, there's a lot of stuff being brought to light. When I looked back at the reading I did for the beginning of August, there was a lot about clarity and stuff coming to light. So, that's that element of justice and fairness coming back in. And there's balance coming back in, and I know a lot of people have been praying for peace and healing, and the angels are working on our behalf for that. So let's take a moment now and get back into that meditative kind of place, okay? Taking some nice deep breaths. And let's call on Raguel. And behind your closed eyes, again, bring your attention to that point between your eyebrows without straining. Call upon Raguel, Raguel, Raguel. We ask for you to be here and present with us now, and to touch our lives with your harmony and order. Please help us to see what elements in our lives are part of divine timing and order. Help us to feel more empowered so we can stand up for ourselves when we need to, or stand our ground. Help us to understand that we are those instruments of the divine. And Raphael, we call upon you to be here and present with all of us now. And we send love and blessings out to all who are in need of healing. Any kind of physical healing, emotional healing from maybe something that they may be going through, spiritual healing. Maybe if there's someone in your life that you know specifically right now that could use a health visit from Raphael, you can ask him to visit that person. Angels have the ability to be with everyone who calls upon them simultaneously. I hear you. Give me a minute. My kitty's meowing at me to let her out. So continue to take nice deep breaths. Angels work with you through your breath. And as you continue to breathe, you might feel your shoulders drop and your energy drop down into your heart. And I get a sense that Raphael is guiding many of you who are watching this video. Many of you are looking to change aspects of your health through your diet, and he's assisting you with that. Excuse me, just one moment. And I also feel Raguel in here helping many of you with creating more loving bonds, okay? And also helping you to rise up and to be able to stand up for yourself. Also, I get a sense of Raguel working to help to reconnect people who have been deeply divided. There's been a lot of division, I know, here in the United States in many ways, but maybe we're not alone in that. They work with people through events and to help create a rebonding, okay, and more harmonious relations. You know, we can, I'm being reminded right now that we can we can ask Raguel to be in places where there are wars going on. Like I know this, we all know about the war in Ukraine. We can send angels like Raguel to those places, you know, Russia and Ukraine, so that more harmonious relationships can come forward or at least be assisted. We can call upon groups of angels to send to those areas, okay? So that by sending angels to areas where, or asking for extra angels to areas that are in distress like that, whether it's from war or from famine or something, some kind of natural event, it helps to open the pathways for people who can help to get to them, okay? That's Raguel. That's the order, creating order and harmonious connections to bring things together, overseeing that. Okay. So I wanted to pull on some cards from our Archangel Raphael deck and our Archangel Michael deck. Sorry, there's a phone going off in the background. Okay. Let's see. Archangel Raphael, what are your messages for the people who are watching? What do you wish us to know? What would be of benefit or service to people? Ooh, okay. The card fell on the floor. Oh, this is interesting because it's a card about relationship. Okay. It says, Raphael, thank you for healing and guiding all of my relationships upon the path of love. And, I think one of the things that I forgot to mention about Raphael was I think he's a bit of a matchmaker. So I feel like some of you may be looking for that relationship in your life. Okay. Or it can herald that there's a relationship coming in for you. Okay. Or that the one that you've most recently met, if you're feeling excited about it, that there's something to it. Okay. I get that he can help you to meet that right person for you. Okay. So, and also that part of the way that starts is by working on your relationship with yourself, your own self-esteem, your own sense of self-worth. Kind of maybe examine the way you feel about yourself and do your own little things for self-improvement. Let me see what else this card says. Well, in the description of the card, it says the card speaks of another person's influence upon the relationship, upon the situation in question. Okay. So including, he helps you with all forms of healing, including emotional healing within relationships. So he's assisting you with any relationship. So if there's some situation that, that you're in where there's a relationship that's affecting the situation, he can assist you with that. Okay. And so can Raguel, because he creates harmonious relations with other people. And what they do is they help to open the hearts of both people involved, or all the people involved. So maybe people can talk more openly and without judgment. Or one time I called upon Raguel. I want to say he guided me to kind of look at some different articles of things online, or to research something online, which gave me a different perspective. It gave me an understanding of what the situation might be like for the other person involved. And sometimes angels will do that. They'll give you that perspective. Okay. Helping you to understand another person's point of view or situation, with things that maybe you weren't aware of. Okay. So that's one of the messages. Let's see, Raphael. So he's helping us with relationships. And even, if you're looking to connect more socially with people, that's maybe another way he's assisting. The other card that came out was this one of acceptance. And it says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, please help me accept that everything is going in the right direction. And I know that's a big one for me today, because I've been wanting a change in an area of my life, and it's not happening fast enough. I wanted it to happen a month ago. It's not. And so right out of the gate, this card says he's helping you to find peace within an unsettling situation. And let's just face it, there's a lot of those going on in the world right now. Okay. Especially here in the United States with all the stuff that's going to be coming to light. Now, acceptance doesn't mean that you like or you're happy about what's going on, but what it means is that you may be willing to come to peace with it, accept that this is what it is, so that you can move on from it. And with angels, you'll often hear them say to surrender it to them. Give it over to them. Have an active surrender. That way they can more actively intervene for you, okay, or help you in different areas. Now let's see what Michael has to say, what his message is for us. What did I do with his cards? There they are. I don't have an Archangel Raguel deck. Okay, Archangel Michael, call upon you to be here and present now with all of us. Now, Michael's a very strong and powerful angel that's easy to feel when you call upon him. Sense of humor. Okay. He's reminding us to lighten up. And you know, this card also does come up when you're about to have a good time with friends and you're all going to have a good laugh, or you end up watching a show that's really funny and it makes you laugh and it lightens you up. Okay. Angels will help you with things that lighten you up. So we don't, you know, let's face it. I mean, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and coming into the earth environment is not easy. Coming into physical form, this is one of the toughest schools to come to, from what I understand, from what I've learned from other intuitives and teachers and things like that. So, angels will often help us when we call upon them to lighten up. Okay. The wonderful thing about angels, you know, if someone came up to you and said, hey, you know, lighten up, will you? You might actually get more mad at them for telling you that. But when you call on angels for help, a lot of times that's how they work with you to help you feel better, is they, you know, guide you or direct you, or actually sometimes even directly shift your energy so that it lightens up, which always is something that feels better for all of us and helps us to look at things more authentically and in a more real way. Okay. All right. And Raphael works with a sense of humor too. Laughter is sometimes the best medicine. Let's see. What else do we need to know? Well, nothing else is jumping out from Michael. Okay. We have innocence and confidence. The innocence card is really beautiful because it's just looking at a cute little puppy. He's holding it in his hands. Okay. This card has a lot to do with the way the angels look at us. We are, in our spiritual form, innately innocent. Okay. And sometimes it's hard to, it can be hard to feel that way about some people sometimes, you know, to see them as innocent. So I feel like this is going out, that card is going out to some people who are feeling very troubled right now. And maybe it's, maybe there's a relationship, since so much of this reading, this has been about relationships, where maybe you feel like you could have done better or something. Okay. And in this card, he's assuring you of your innocence. He's reminding you to forgive yourself and let go of heavy, heavy guilt. Okay. For anything that you've blamed yourself for. Okay. The other card that came out was have confidence. And that's, again, goes back to the have confidence that, the divine is working through you, that you are an instrument, like what Raguel said in his message, that you are instruments of the divine. And have confidence in that. Even if you can't always see how, what the orchestration is and how it's working. Know that it is. Know that you're being looked after and guided. Okay. And for some of you, I feel like that is about new situations that you're going into. He's reminding you to have confidence in your plans. Okay. You have the strength, the power, the skills that are necessary and valuable. So it's kind of like he's giving you a little shot of confidence, a boost of confidence in your plans and ideas. And it's also know that your financial needs, they can help you with your financial needs being met. So remember, the beauty of calling on angels is that they help to lift you up, to see things from a higher or different perspective, and that can help you to lighten up. All right. Even for as long as I've been doing this work and calling on angels and learning about them, I still have times where I fall back into being obsessed with how much I don't like something if it's, uncomfortable to me. And I really don't like this going on. And it causes you to overlook all the good that you have in the moment. And one of the things I always loved about working with angels is that they'll show you the truth about yourself or someone else. Okay. You can ask them to show you the truth very clearly. And sometimes when they show you the truth about yourself, it's just that gentle nudge. For me, it came through the cards. It was like, decide to be happy now. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. In this moment, I'm kind of obsessing about this when there's so many wonderful things that I have to be grateful for. And that happens to a lot of us sometimes. But that's why I call upon them to give me that perspective. And you can too. Okay. You're loved, valued, appreciated. And there's a reason that we're all here during this time. I have my channel here. I do these Circle of Angels events. I don't have thousands of followers, but it doesn't matter. My intention when I do these is that whoever views it receives blessings and benefits from it. And I ask to be of service in whatever way I can. So, and it's all of us together doing all these little things. When I've done meditation groups, I didn't always have a lot of people there. And I actually kept them small purposely, so it would be a little bit more intimate. And we could have a nice discussion of spiritual and metaphysical topics without anybody feeling like they were weird or strange. And they could ask questions about that and we could talk about it. So my point of bringing that up is that we're all doing our little bit. I mean, this is what the angels guide me to do. And it doesn't matter whether it's thousands of people or just 30 or 40 people or 100 people or 10 people. If what I've presented today helps and brings blessings and benefits to those 10 people, then it served a purpose. Okay. I want to thank you all for watching and tuning in. If you liked and enjoyed this video today, this Circle of Angels, like, subscribe. You're welcome to leave a comment below. Thank you to Anja again for hopping on the chat and saying hello to me while I was doing this tonight. It was nice to see him from Germany too. That's It's nice to know that we're connecting with other people in other parts of the world. That's wonderful. Part of that relationship harmony that Raguel brings into our lives. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. And if you enjoyed today, again, if you'd like to see more, leave a comment below. All right. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week.